All right, so this is going to be a tutorial on a tool for educators, especially for us students who are going into teaching. The site that I wanted to display is BAM Radio Network, and I have been using BAM Radio since November. One of my professors was talking about a teacher she was listening to on the radio, and she went on about the story, but when she said it, it really hit home for me, and I thought, oh, I bet educators are sharing information online on the radio. I just need to find them. So she didn't have a good resource for me, but I started to research and look around, and I found BAM Radio on the website, and then I saw that there were so many podcasts that they have, so I uploaded a lot of them onto my phone. In the morning while I'm cleaning, during the day while I'm driving, I'm listening to podcasts and just really educating myself about the educational field that I am diving into. So I highly, highly encourage you, because what they're giving us is the best of the best in the country, sharing the latest and the greatest information. So I'm going to take you through this. Okay, so the front page here, if you just scroll around, these little boxes, rectangles, they are showing you different topics that could be discussed. And if you click on any of them, you can listen to what George and Vicky have to say about unpacking how education innovators think. That's one example. There's EdChat Radio. There's so many different things and resources for educators. If you look on top here under educators, these are all the podcasts that you can search for on your phone, or click here and you can listen to them. Who my go-to person always is Vicki Davis. Every Classroom Matters. I like that she's a teacher in the classroom right now, but she brings in other teachers or other educators in the field that are just real forward thinking, and they're using a lot of tech in the classroom, and they're discussing things that might affect learning or creative ways to teach, and I just love to hear her insight on it. The other one that is really great is Teachers of the Year, because these are the best of the best, sharing their ideas, their experiences, what opportunities came from becoming the Teacher of the Year. So go through these. The EdChat, I found that one was really great. And even if they're older, 2013, it's okay, because there's so many great things that they're still saying then. And then I always get the updates on when their new ones are coming out. I've had to really be creative and delete some stuff off my phone, because this does take up a little bit of my data. But I've just moved my pictures, and I figured out different ways. And one way I figured that out is by listening to some of these podcasts and listening to how they utilize their own phones, their own personal devices to in the classroom, or when they're dealing with stuff like, okay, I have too much space, but I need to use my own technology for learning. So I've really grown in that area as well. Okay, so then also they have, like, from the flip side down here, and they talk about the flipped classroom. They bring in just special guests. Host your own show. I haven't dived into that yet, but I'm really excited about that, because I think in the classroom the kids can host their own. I can host my own for our classroom, or maybe even educators at the school. The leaders one is really great. I like to listen to sometimes to the principals or administrators discuss things, because I think I have had the opportunity to work with our principals and see that side of it, so I can appreciate the struggles that they have to deal with and some stuff that they're working at, and just listening to some excited leaders in our nation that are leading the teachers. This parent one, I right now currently am a parent involvement coordinator, so this one excites me. I hope to see more podcasts on parenting and how it relates to education. I have just started listening to Inside the Mind of Teens, and that's great, because they are scholars in this field, and they really just talk about the mind. And the latest one I watched was, or listened to, was on video games and how it affects the brain and the balance that we need. And what else? So there's some great quotes that you can use in your classroom or as a student teacher writing papers. And then let's go ahead and I'm going to scroll down here. So it just shows here new for teachers, and it gives you just lots of articles and information. What I like too is that anybody that I'm listening to, I can go ahead and go to Twitter and start following them. And I love that because then I get to dive in deeper and kind of see what they're doing. They have National PTA Radio. I think a lot of schools don't know that there is a resource for them. But this is amazing because schools spend thousands and thousands of dollars trying to get professional development into schools, and I just feel like here I am, a student in school, and I'm getting to hear all this amazing stuff that's happening for free, and I'm not taking that for granted at all. Some of the ways that I integrate this into how I'm learning is when I get up in the morning and I'm cleaning my house or doing different things, driving in the car, I'm listening to a podcast and I'm scrolling through, seeing which one interests me today, kind of holding on to one maybe for later on. I don't have an iPad right now, but there's a lot of great ones on the different apps you can use. So I have a bunch of those in mind to go back to once I purchase mine in the next month or two. But I wouldn't have thought of a lot of this stuff had it not been for really diving into each one of these and looking through them. Another great thing too is that this connects you to blogs and just lots of different articles. I'm going to scroll down again here. It's not showing it, but it does give a list of different educators to follow. So maybe it's up here. Let's see, home. It has a list of a bunch of different educators that you can follow and learn from too. So let me just, for example, let me just click on how games can make learning math enjoyable. And so here is just a little brief on it. What I love is that here you can see that you can follow Matthew and anyone, BAM Radio, and anyone who's kind of in this discussion on Twitter. They have all of I believe it's called not the hyperlinks. I'm not quite sure. I'm just diving into Twitter, but these little @ signs, just click on those and I can just add them to my Twitter account. And then I can also, if I have my own website, I can embed it into my website. I could add it to my iTunes as well. And it's just right here if I want to listen to it on my computer as well.
BAM Radio Network. So Matt and I often use commercial games, in our experiences with game-based learning. How do you envision teachers using commercial games in the classroom?
The bias that I have is thinking about children who don't have the luxury of time in order to close any types of gaps that we in education.
Okay, so that's just a taste of it. But just listening to that, if you are like me, you're excited to hear this because, again, free knowledge is always a good thing. And hearing these people speak is just, listening to them is just amazing because if we didn't have this technology, we wouldn't have this opportunity. It would be a lot of trial and error, and they've done a lot of it for us. Also, they also have, which is really amazing, is they have linked them all up onto YouTube. So not all of them, but you can watch some of this professional development, some of these discussions happening on YouTube. And they give you lots of descriptions about who you're listening to and the topics. So that is my tech tool. Oh, here we go. This right here, the BAM 100 Influential Voices, they've listed out all these amazing educators, that their different websites that you can go onto, their blogs and click on them and learn from them. And a lot of them are public speakers. They've written books. They have stores. They have different resources for us to go through. So if you really want to geek out on teacher education stuff, which I am geeking out completely, then you definitely want to go to bamradionetwork.com. Thank you.